Now, controversial American punk cabaret artist Amanda Palmer gained a cult following as the lead singer of the American music duo the Dresden Dolls. She's since made international headlines as the first musician to raise more than $1 million through crowdfunding when she asked fans to bankroll her most recent album. Nearly 25,000 loyal fans reached into their pockets. Like many industries, the internet is transforming the music industry, and so Amanda Palmer's savvy in skirting around the traditional record companies is being watched with great interest. Monique Shafter caught up with the cabaret star who's in Australia for the Sydney Festival.
Coin-operated boy sitting on the shelf. He is just a toy.
Lots of people know you from the Dresden Dolls, but you're also a prolific solo artist. What drives you to perform?
That is why I want.
I actually started in theatre, but I was always writing songs and harbored a secret rock and roll fantasy, and that's what I wound up doing.
Is rugged and long-lasting. Who could I?
I'm one of those people who believes that there is no music without theatre in it.
Vegemite, it tastes like sadness. It tastes like batteries. It tastes like asses. I cannot hold a man so close who spreads this cancer on his toast. It is the Vegemite, my darling, or it's me.
You seem to have a real affinity with Australia. You've been here a number of times now. You released an album called Amanda Palmer Goes Down Under with a song about Vegemite and even one about the map of Tasmania. What inspired you to write that?
The Tasmania song? I was staying with a friend of a friend, and she was showing me around Tasmania and explained the term map of Tasmania, which I thought was hilarious, and I was like, that would make a great song subject.
Walking down the street, I'm the lady, showing off my map of Tasmania.
You're renowned for being really active on social media. How important is it for you to have such direct communication with your audience?
There's a really interesting divide between how you use social media as a marketing tool versus the side where, like, I just like talking to people.
Twitter came along and made things even more magic because I could ask instantly for anything, anywhere.
Last year, you gave a TED talk called The Art of Asking, which explained how you raised $1.2 million through crowdfunding for your album Theatre is Evil. Can you explain how your business model works?
Well, my overall business model has always been to ignore reality, do what I want, and hope that I get paid, which usually works.
And the media asked, Amanda, the music business is tanking. How do you make all these people pay for music? And the real answer is, I didn't make them. I asked them. And the goal was $100,000. My fans backed me at nearly $1.2 million, which was the biggest music crowdfunding project to date.
In the TED Talk, you talk about how your initial beginnings as one of those statue street performers kind of prepared you for the music industry. Can you explain how that kind of worked?
When you're educated on the street, you have a different expectation with your audience. You're used to the act of doing what you do and then hoping that someone throws in $1. When you do that enough, you actually do kind of foster and build a kind of a sense of faith in humanity, that like someone will walk by and put in money.
You also crowdsourced additional backup musos for a tour in support of the album, and you initially offered to pay them in hugs and merch and alcohol and stuff like that, and it drew a bit of criticism. Why did you eventually decide to pay them in cash?
The criticism was all coming from outside the fan community, and it was snowballing, and all of a sudden, like, the word on Twitter and in the media was like, Amanda Palmer never pays anybody. It hurt to be so misunderstood because I had been running and still run my business that way, and it really works for me and my fan community. We help each other. I play in places for free all the time. I do free gigs and have done for years and years and years.
Collection of fine little friends.
They bring food to my gigs. They give me rides to the airport. I send out, free stuff to my fans. Like, there's this constant back and forth that's always worked.
So play your favorite cover song, especially if the words are wrong, 'cause even
will this tour at the Spiegel tent for the Sydney Festival be different to the previous tours?
My last tour in Australia was with a full rock band with amplifiers and guitars and synthesizers and stage diving and moshing, and it was loud. And this is about as quiet and as intimate as I get, and it's, you know, it's just me on a stage with a piano and a ukulele and a nice small circle of people. I also don't like getting bored. I don't like doing the same thing twice ever, because otherwise I just feel like I'm getting up and doing a job and going home, and that's not what it's about for me.